I don't think there's anything wrong with chasing money. I just think that it's usually the quickest way not to get it. Did you consider not going as rogue as quitting and going all in? Did you consider the practicality of 6 p.m. to 3 in the morning?
No.
I'm actually just curious. There's no judgment or like, I'm only collecting data because I'm fascinated by the practicality of it and the fear that I have when people make, I want everybody to do what you did if they can do it. And my fear is a lot can't, and that there's a more practical way than going from 0 to 100, though some people have to go 0 to 100 because if they're half pregnant, they'll never do it. It's this completely interesting matrix, right?
Gary, they
Please.
can't or they won't.
There's a lot of things going on. I think first of all, the reason I push so much on judgment is the biggest fear I have is that he won't because, you know, one of the things when I look at them, it's interesting, I'm like, oh, it's good, because I wonder how much she's driving, hyping him to get the team there. Like, you always need optimism and hype to jump. Like, guys, kissing a girl or boy, jumping in, riding a bike, going in a pool, I've become fascinated with these 3 events as children, because if you really look at it, it's hype. Like, I remember hyping buddies in 6th grade, be like, dude, you can kiss her. Like, hyping. Like, hyping. Or when like looking at friends, or the hype I needed to like, I was scared shitless to swim or ride a bike, or like hype, like taking a jump. You know, at the same token, like, you know, like sometimes the dude went in for the kiss and she rejected him and he was crippled for a decade. You know, a lot of people will fail in business, and so I'm unbelievably, you 30 years ago had no choice, you had to jump. You do have a choice now, depending on the business you choose. If you open a health and wellness and gym, if you open a gym, you physically gotta be there, you can't. But if you're doing, you know, if you're doing content or information, or you could use content to set up a grand opening that will win in 3 years, it's asked literally just for data of how you got there. The other thing I'm a very big believer in is getting people to not feel like it's a scarlet letter if they lose. Something nobody talks about at all is your scenario. You jump, it fails, you reset and go back and get a job in the craft that you had because of your resume, and you restart in 4 years from now. America's pretty good at looking at losses in a positive way compared to other parts of the world where it's like a true scarlet letter, death forever. But still, even here, you know, people don't know when to go back from their jump because they don't want the loss on the resume. They made the big to-do that you're gonna do it. Now it doesn't work, and what they do is they triple down into debt to look good in front of people.
And what if it did and you never jumped to find out?
Oh, you're preaching. That I want. You've already done that. I'm actually talking about the next part, which is having the options to know that the game is super long, and that if the business, you know, when you go from ice cold, when you go from never having a business to having a business, that's like literally asking me, I'm asking you to right now qualify for Wimbledon in tennis. It's a lot harder than people think. You're grown, you two are grown. I'm not trying to suppress, by the way. I'm talking about the practicality of like options. I love that we live in a world, I'm trying to get people to like really understand how to win this. So much of my success is completely predicated on not worrying about all my losses, which means at times, you know, my great losses are the things I passed on. Maybe I should have done Shark Tank. Maybe not. I don't think I should have done it. Not this late in. I think I'll do my own thing. Like, you know, like, but fuck, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, I didn't invest in Uber when I could have made $400 million. I mean, that's a loss. But like, all the things that I've done are things that I can't see what the outcomes. Let me tell you how the Uber thing might have not been a loss. On black and white paper, if I gave Travis the money, like I always was doing at that time, I would have made $300, $400 million on paper. What if I had invested in Uber and that led me to giving a speech in India based on it, right? And I got hit by a bus and died. Like, people are just so, like they don't understand how life, like I'm so happy right now, how could I possibly, you know, look like you don't know what life's gonna bring you, right? Life's complicated, and way more matrixed out. And that's why, I'm gonna start pushing this. I said it for the first time really heavily up there, like the ROI, winning in life is happiness, not money. People are just so, Like what I'm most happy about is if you just love the process. Like loving the process, like loving the debates in the kitchen. If you can get to, like, that's what.
What about separating that though?
It's great, I believe you. Your vibes seem good. Like, I think that's huge. To me, it's time and talent. The reason I love hard work is it's controllable. It's hard for me to be like, be more talented. That seems like when people are like, you push hard, a lot of politically correct, over extreme European points of view get mad at me for, Gary, it's unhealthy. You can't, GaryVee, you can't go to the grave with all your money. I'm like, dude, I'm not talking about money. And I don't feel like it's work when I love it. Like maybe you don't like your job as much. Like,
is it wrong to be driven by money? Is it wrong to?
I don't think I can judge anything. I think the question becomes what the next thing is. To me, what?
It's a vehicle.
Correct.
Not the end goal.
Correct, but I also think that people confuse the vehicle then. So I think people don't often get the right vehicle for their destination. You're right, it's a vehicle. Now my question is, what's your destination? And if you told me it was down the street, I'd tell you to fucking walk, not drive a Lamborghini. So I don't think it's an evil or it's wrong. I think people are confused to why they try to amass it and for what. Like, how much do you want to make? It's arbitrary. What's it based on? Like, we have to unwind what's been pushed in our heads. 20, 50, 72, 4, 9, 6, what? To me, my big one is, can I do what I want to do every day? I was doing that running the liquor store and I was making 57. I was happy as fuck. I'm no more happy today than I was at 22. I was pumped. I was on a mission to build a family business so big so that everybody on earth would always say I did the right thing by my parents in the way they did to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with chasing money. I just think that it's usually the quickest way not to get it. I really believe that. I really do. I think when I watch people that are driven by money, I see a lot of unhappiness and failure. It's very common. I think the question is why? What do you need? And do you have a sense of that? Because by the way, it evolves. What he needed at 24 is different than what he needs now. And him and me, and so it evolves too. If we did the happy meter here, it's the people that are, I promise you, it's the people that are doing what they want to be doing. Like to me, I couldn't explain to you enough, and I have utmost empathy for the cynicism around this statement. It's unbelievable how much I don't like money. I like the game. I love my game. I love the game of building shit. It's why building, a legacy is the best, because it's like triple compounding valuable, right? I love the admiration. I talk a lot about loving Rocky VI because he goes back to not having anything. I talk about it a lot. It's the same reason I was selling baseball cards on Saturday. I was selling baseball cards on Twitter on Saturday for $50 for a stack of cards. I love the game of growing. To me, the best part is the beginning. I love the thrill of the chase. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go garage sailing because there's nothing like pulling up. Literally to this day, I can't replicate the high of going to a garage sale, walking into a yard of junk and finding something for $1 that I know I can sell on eBay for 17 bucks is a bigger happiness high than closing a $6 million account for Vayner. And it's not even close. That's what I want for everybody because that's how they get to 20. I believe that. I really do. So I think the fear I have with chasing money is its short-term behavior. And it leads to a lot of negativity, even for the people that achieve it. That's why optimism or offense works. It does. But I do think you need to be thoughtful about the chasing the money thing. It will lead to a loss in the macro. I believe that. I could be wrong, but that is my official point of view. And I've watched it way too much.